Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, all students. Okay, my name is Ilyas. I'm from class B. Here, I'm gonna present about the topic for today. It is about development of learner language in SLA or second language acquisition. Okay, next, development of learner language. Okay, for the first time, I'm gonna begin from the background of the study. So, language plays an important role in our everyday life interactions. It is used by humans to do communication with other people in conveying and sharing ideas, feeling, emotion, and information, but in spoken written forms. It is also serves human needs in their everyday communication in an institution. In the background of the study of SLA, there are three types. Language is classified in three types. First is language, second is second language, and the third is foreign language. Okay, next, two process to the study of learner language is general cognitive and formal linguistic. The workings of the first edition in the study of learner language can be stated in the context of the technical term into language, which refers to the language system to the learner contracts to each point in development. The formal approach is driven by two tenets that are often summarized by the characterization of the mind-specific nativism. In formal approach, tenets, nativism, moderate, emphasize competence, representation. In cognitive approach, emphasize development and performance. Next, interlanguage. In SLC, it is not talking about the background, but also it's all about interlanguage, more than the sum of target input and L1. Interlanguage representations, first is different from L2 input. The second is different from L1 representations. The third is similar to children's developing L1. Okay, is that? Okay, move to the next. Cognitive explanation for the development of learner language. In first language acquisitions, the idea that children are guided by universal operating principles in their processing of the input for learning was first brought by Shelby. The average list of 40 statements that describe what children seems to look for in the input data in order to learn the N1 grammar. Here, those are operating principle. Example given: pay attention to ends. Pay attention to ends of word. The second is input processing theory. Example given: process contains word first. And the last is usage-based marketing theories. Grammar is inductive, experience-driven. Input silence and frequency explain development. Variability has social rule. Multiple interacting focus must be explained. Next, for interlanguage processes. There are four important ways in which they do so are. Number one, simplification. Example given: one form or one meaning. Second is overgeneralization. Morphology. Example: ing or ed. Number three, restructuring. Example given: Sositara Kamus Serenia. Number 4, U-shaped behavior. Example given: break, break, or break. Intermediate words. Okay. Next, interlanguage processes work. Yes, DA. Behavior 19 and 83 describe how they usually use the or the, as he pronounced it, to mark down a specific unknown to the hearer but not the current topic. They use a non-technical description. Use of definite article the, Habner 19 and 83. Initially, underuse was often accurate, rather purposive over-generalization, flooding. Finally, restricting toward L2 target. And last is good example of U-shaped behavior. Here also guest case shows that interlanguage development is not haphazard, but instead changes in predictable semantic ways, a matter of development. Next, development as variability in systematicity, the case of George's negations. In the SLA literature, the study of English negation offers a good example of systematic, non-linear, and unruly paths developing along predictable stage. I will illustrate the stats here with longitudinal data from George, young English L2 user investigated by Chanchino et al. George was born in Bogota, Colombia, in a upper middle class family. At the age of 12, he and his family moved to Boston, where he attended regular school. Studying about the George's negation. Okay, in SLC, there is also interlanguage before grammaticalizations, the basic variety of naturalistic learners. Here there are the steps. First is basic variety by Klein and Pardue, 19 and 97. Its main characteristics are summarized. The second is the basic variety can be described by recourse to using per principle for how utterances must be structured, i.e., phrasal constraints, and how constituents must be ordered and information organized along pragmatic and lexical resources, i.e., semantic and pragmatic constraints. And the last is the basic variety shows no evidence of grammaticalization of resources, that is, it makes little use of morphology and subordinations. Okay, move, pattern, attainment of morphological accuracy, the case of L2 morphemes. Morpheme studies ably completing evidence for EL development status. Applied to miniawanes, young or old in qualifications may not apply to real-time productions, does not imply linear progression to target. Order sometimes varies. In second language acquisitions, development of syntax, markedness, and the acquisition of L2 revelations, SLA researchers have conveyed development systematicity not only in many areas of morphology but also with respect throughout domains of syntax. Here, in divided, there are 60 types of. There are 6 types of relative clauses. The first is subject, the second is do, the third is io, the fourth is preposition o, the fifth is gans, and last is com o. Okay, folks. Next, last example of systematicity: cumulative sequence of word order. The project culminated with the discovery of development pattern for the emergency of word order in German L2 among 45 informants. All migrant workers from Romance language backgrounds living in Germany. 5 steps based on 2 strategies: COS and IFS. Okay, next. What is the value of grammar interactions? Education of interface. What is the value of grammar interaction, if any, in the base of what we know about L2 developments? This question has met with different answers in the field of SLA. Some experts question the value of interaction based on the widely felt gap between the classroom and the outside world. If you have ever learned or taught foreign language in the classroom, you too will no doubt remember many times when what was learned through grammar, explanations, and concepts apart didn't transfer well to spontaneous, idiomatic usage in real world situations. Here, it's divided into 5 types. The first is no interface, Carlson sums UG, modulation, example given the words. The second is strong interface, skill learning theorist, emergencies, example Nate Ellis Robinson. The third is weak interface, interactions, example given long. And the last is interaction word, Norris and Ortega 2000s. Okay, next. Interactions, development, and learner readiness. Most SLA researchers who believe in the value of grammar interaction also qualify their position with the proviso that instruction is contrasted by development, just as the influence of the L1S chapter 3 section 3.3.3. In other words, teacher can only hope to teach successfully what learners are developmentally ready to learn. This idea was formalized in the 4 types. First is teachability requires learners' readiness. Second is word order that's most invaluable. Third is relative clauses may be benefit from interactions, keeping stages. And the last is grammatical morpheme unconstrained. Okay, next, the advantage of grammar interaction, accuracy and rate of learning. Interactive learners consistently faster and more accurate than uninstructed ones. That is syntax, word order, relative clauses, and in morphology there is ED. Okay, the reference you can see. Okay, so that's what I can explain or present for today. If you find a mistake from my speech, I'm so sorry. And I hope you, if you have a question, you can ask me directly, or you can chat, or you can directly ask in the group of SLA. Thanks very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.